As promised, this is part 2 of Chanel's spring collection for 2024, and I will be reviewing the new palette Curl Treasure. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos. I upload weekly and there are so many releases coming out this year, so you do not want to miss any of them. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram. Everything that I purchase goes there first. I always give you teasers as well as coupons and links to different products and where to purchase them. In my last video, I did a full unboxing review and comparison of pretty much the full collection, and I did a full look using the first palette, which is Rivage, this really beautiful pop of blue palette. I did a full look and I also compared it to other palettes that you might have in your collection. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely do so. I will leave a link down below of it. But as mentioned, this is part 2 and I am reviewing the second palette in this collection. Now at first look, usually you would think that this palette is not wearable at all. It is filled with peach and pink shades, things that you don't normally reach out to on an everyday basis. You might use this as a fun type of palette. But looking closely at it, you'll see that this palette is actually partitioned into 2 separate colors. So the peach is on the left. We have more of a satin shade, and then we have a sparkle shade as well. And then same with the other side, we have 2 different pink shades. One of them is a darker pink, and then we have a shimmer pink. So really, when I think about it, you can technically use this on an everyday basis during the spring and summer months. Looking at a close-up of this palette, as you can see, you can easily wear these shades separately or together like I am going to do in this video today. But just imagine using both of the peach shades, kind of putting one as a transition shade and then the shimmer shade all over your eye. Same thing with the pink side, you can do the exact same thing. This is the first time I use this. Ooh, this peach actually looks more orange when swatched. Here are all of the shades swatched. Very gorgeous palette, and you can see why you can use individual shades so easily. I'm going to get right into today's look. I did a full unboxing in my last video, so if you did not see that, again, go back and watch that. But let's get right into this. So I am going to use all of the shades today. Let's see, we are going to start with this shade here. Now the top shades have more shimmer in them, the bottom shades not really, and they are darker. Now I want to use this as a transition shade. This is a very beautiful color. Now I heard that Chanel is reformulating their eyeshadow palettes. Let me know in the comments below if you guys heard the same thing and if that is a fact, because I'm really curious to find out. I do love their formula, or at least their current formula, so I'm not sure, but I do know that makeup is changing and it's ever evolving. So Chanel, of course, has to evolve with the trends as well. And perhaps they have something better in store. Maybe a creamy type of formula, a powder to cream formula, who knows? But nonetheless, I do think that Chanel can definitely always surprise us with good things. Now Chanel is my favorite brand, favorite makeup brand, so I hope that whatever they do, it's going to be beautiful. So that's the peach shade. So as I mentioned before, if you do just want to use one side of this palette, I would go into this more shimmer shade and apply that all over my eyelid, or you could use the shimmer shade just on the inner corner and then further extend this darker peach shade on the outer corner, and I think that would look very beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up this darker pink, and I'm going to add this to the outer corner. Both of those shades, do you see how well they blend together? This is very much a statement type of palette. And I could definitely see how not everybody would want this palette. But for those of you that love makeup, love to change it around, I think this is a nice addition. How pretty is the combination of both of those shades together? Now I'm going to grab more of this pink and I want to extend this to the outer corner. We'll do the same on the other side as well. With the pink, I just dragged it to the middle and stopped right there. I am going to do something different for the inner corner. Now I'm grabbing this brush here. This is by Huda Beauty and it is the Fender Blender. And I'm using this side over here. I do want to create a cut crease. For the cut crease, I just get my concealer and apply a little bit on the back of my hand. And then grabbing this brush, I pick up a little bit. And then I just go ahead and create the cut crease. Now I'm just going to follow the natural crease of my eye and go about halfway. Now that I have my cut crease, I'm grabbing this shimmer shade, and this is on the peach side. This one is a little bit lighter, but I think with a cut crease or a primer, it's going to make it a little bit more pigmented. This shade actually does look more orange than peach. So there's all three shades. Now I do want to remove that harsh edge in the middle, so I'm picking up this really pretty pink and I'm going in kind of in the middle. As you can see, this has quite a bit of shimmer in it. So I'm just patting this in the middle. That looks lovely. Very pretty. You can see we have a very nice gradient of peach and pinks, and they all blend very beautifully together. So next I want to basically mirror what I did on top. So I am picking up the pink and adding that to the middle. It also is going to add a little bit of glow. And then using the other side of the brush, grabbing this other peach shade and putting that in the inner corner. And there's all four shades, a very interesting combination, but at the same time, I feel like they really look so pretty together. I do like the finishes in this palette, and I feel like there are different finishes, even though they are similar shades. One is darker, one is lighter, and they different in the finishes that they have, and it just creates a really pretty look. I want to add an eyeliner, so I'm using this liner by Victoria Beckham. These are my all-time favorite liners. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them. They're just really creamy and they glide on the eye. Once these are set, they last all day and they're just my favorite. I don't think I will use any other liners. I just love these so much. So I'm using the shade. This one is, let's see, I think it's a brown shade. This is in Cocoa. So I do want to create somewhat of a wing, but I'm just keeping the liner to the outer corner. I think that a liner makes the look so much more classy, and I really like that combination of a darker liner and a lighter eyeshadow. It just really looks so pretty together. Okay, now I'm going to apply some mascara. So again, I'm using the Le Volume de Chanel, my all-time favorite mascara, and I always get these with my order. I like the smaller ones because just with anything else, mascara is a must where you have to change it pretty much every single 3 months. And I just like the mini sizes because they only last for about a month, and then I can throw it away and just open up a new one. But always make sure to change your mascara often. You do not want to get an eye infection. Here's the finished eye look with mascara and eyeliner, and I think it looks really stunning. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this palette is worth it, or is something that you are going to pass on for the year? Now for the blush, and of course I am using the blush that came out with this collection. So we're blending both shades together, patting the excess and applying this to the apples of my cheeks. This collection really is just stunning. It just makes me happy. It's so pretty. It's effortless. These shades look so good together. Just love it. As mentioned in my last video, I did not purchase the highlighter that came out with this collection. It is more of a pearlescent white highlighter, but I do want to add a highlighter with this look, and I'm going to use this highlighter that just recently came out. It came out in December, and this one is, let's see, it's in Precious Coral. I think this will look really pretty with this look. One main goal that I have this year is to start really using my products. And even when I do my videos, I want to start using other products as well. That's not necessarily part of the one collection. I mean, generally that's how we use them in reality, right? We're not always just using one collection on its own. We might get one piece of a collection and then we just use what we have already on hand. This is such a pretty highlighter. And one of the reasons why I didn't purchase the highlighter from this collection as well, because this is really huge and I really need to start using my highlighters. Definitely, if you are thinking of purchasing this eyeshadow as well as the blush in this collection, and if you have this particular highlighter, skip the highlighter that came out with this collection and just use what you have. This looks stunning because the blush kind of leans a little bit more pink than what it looks in the pan. And then when you add this, it adds that little bit of coral sheen to it. It looks really pretty. For lips, I'm using this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is part of her new lipstick collection. This one is in Red Carpet Pink, and I just think this is going to look stunning with this look. As expected, this lip color looks gorgeous with this look, but I do want to add a little bit of peach, so I'm going to use this palette. Now I'm going to use the shimmer shade, and I just want to pat this on my lips in the middle. This is going to mattify the lipstick, and it's also going to add a little bit of peach so that you have more of a cohesive type of look. I actually do this all the time. And now we have a lipstick shade that looks very similar to what I have on my eyes. And here's the full look using the Coral Treasure palette from Chanel's new spring makeup collection for 2024. What are your thoughts? Do you like this? Do you feel like you prefer the Rivage look that I created more so than this one? I'm actually really surprised. I didn't think that I would love this look as much as I do. I knew that I loved this full collection. The first time I saw this collection, I knew it's a must-have, but I feel like I was more leaning towards a Rivage being my favorite palette, just because this is something that I would constantly use, especially if I'm wearing jeans, which I normally do on an everyday basis. That pop of blue shade looks perfect with jeans, with things that you would wear on a daily basis. And I also love the two shades at the bottom. They're very wearable, very easy to use. So that's why I was leaning more towards this one being my favorite rather than this. But honestly, I like them both. I really do. I mean, I'm a pharmacist, so I tend to kind of dress up when I'm at work. I am constantly wearing blazers, and during the springtime, I tend to wear colored type of blazers. So this also is going to be perfect for me to kind of apply a little bit of makeup without without being overboard. So yeah, I really love this collection. Both of these palettes are beautiful. It's really difficult to choose one over the other. It really is just dependent on what you need and what kind of colors and makeup you like to use. You guys have been loving comparisons, so we definitely have to compare this palette to what I currently have in my collection and what you most likely have as well. And one palette that came to mind right away is the new Dior palette, the Poplin Peach palette. So this is Poplin Peach. Now, before I do the comparison of the colors themselves, I mentioned previously that Chanel is looking to reformulate their palettes. And one thing that comes to mind when I look at Dior's palettes is Chanel needs to change the look of their palettes. I feel like these are so dated and they can just do so much better. When I look at both of these palettes, they are definitely very different. This one by Chanel leans way more peach. As I mentioned in my Dior review, even though this is called Poplin Peach, I felt like it was more pink than peach. Just the overall look of it. It does have more pink in it. And I think Dior, for the most part, they tend to lean more pink in all of their palettes. Pretty much every year, they're always releasing some form of a pink palette. And I think it's because it just sells well. Everyone loves a pink eyeshadow. And most people really, they just purchase one or two palettes and they use it often. So for anything that especially costs this much, like these palettes do, you want to get the colors that you're normally going to gravitate towards, and pink is the most popular color for eyeshadow. So here's swatches of both palettes side by side. The top one is Chanel's Coral Treasure, and then the bottom one is Dior's Poplin Peach. And as you can see, both of them are very different palettes. They are close enough to be swatched and compared together, but they are very different. As you can see, this one by Chanel leans more peach. The peach shades in here are definitely very prominent and peach-like, and the pinks are very much pink. And then we have a combination, and the peaches are not as prominent as they are in the Chanel one. This concludes my review of Chanel's spring makeup collection for 2024. This was definitely a very exciting collection. I absolutely loved it. I think both palettes are beautiful. The blush is stunning. The nail shades are really gorgeous. This whole collection is just very beautiful and I think you cannot go wrong with it. I hope this video was really helpful for you, and if you were interested in any pieces in this collection, I hope it made it a lot more easier as to which palettes you want to choose. I'm just wondering what else Chanel has in store for us this year. Usually after the spring collection, we anticipate the Le Beige collection, but they just released a Le Beige collection for the winter season. So what do you guys think? Are they going to release another Le Beige collection for the spring and summer months, or are they going to do something different this year? If they do end up releasing a Le Beige collection, I hope it's going to be better than last year. I feel like last year was just a re-promote in a travel component or a travel size, and I skipped that collection entirely. But let's see, hopefully this year, if they are going to release a Le Beige collection, it's more of a true and unique collection. Le Beige is my favorite type of collection from Chanel. I think that it's a very natural type of makeup, wearable makeup. I have the foundation on right now. I wear it all the time. So let's see what they have in store. Maybe they have something entirely different. I'm always here to review all things new in makeup, so definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos. And also remember to follow me on Instagram. A lot of you don't follow me there, and all things brand new go there first. So be sure to follow me on my Instagram. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.